Hello and welcome back to AI News Connect. I'm Marvin, your trusted guide to everything happening in the fast-moving world of artificial intelligence. Today, I'm covering one of the most important stories in AI privacy and regulation this year. Meta's bold plan to train its AI models using user data from the European Union and the immediate legal backlash it's provoking. Let's dive right in. Just a few days ago, Meta, the company behind Facebook and Instagram, announced it would start using public data shared by adults across its platforms in the EU to train its artificial intelligence models, starting on May 27, 2025. This means everything you post publicly on these social networks could be used to improve Meta's AI systems, from generative AI models to content recommendation engines. But the company is not asking users to expressly, proactively agree to this. There's no opt-in, and that's precisely where the controversy begins. Austrian privacy advocacy group NOIB, which stands for None of Your Business, immediately fired back. They sent Meta's Irish headquarters a cease and desist letter, threatening to sue if Meta doesn't pause the plan right away. Their main argument: Meta is bypassing critical data protection norms established under the EU's General Data Protection Regulation, or GDPR. Normally, GDPR requires companies to get clear, informed consent from users before processing their personal data for new purposes, especially something as sweeping as AI model training. Instead, Meta claims it has a legitimate interest in using the data and is simply offering users the ability to opt out, rather than requiring them to opt in. NOIB argues that's not good enough, and that an opt-out system goes against the core principles of user consent embedded in European privacy law. What adds fuel to this fire is Meta's decision to limit users' ability to opt out before training even begins. According to NOIB, Meta's approach could lead to massive legal risks, not just for Meta, but for the very fabric of data privacy in Europe. And even if a small fraction of users, say 10%, were to actively opt in or simply not object, Meta would still have access to enough data to train its models on all European languages and cultural contexts. Let's put this into context. This move comes about a year after Meta paused similar plans in June 2024, due to intervention by Ireland's Data Protection Commission, which recognized the privacy concerns raised at the time. Now, as Meta reintroduces the plan, it faces an even more organized opposition. The fight hinges on whether companies like Meta can reshape the standards for user consent in the age of AI, or whether watchdogs and citizens will succeed in defending stricter, opt-in-based privacy controls. This isn't just about Meta. Just last week, the Belgian Court of Appeal also ruled that the transparency and consent framework used by major tech companies like Google, Microsoft, and Amazon to obtain consent for personalized ads violated key GDPR principles and is illegal across Europe. Regulators are taking a much harder line on what constitutes valid consent, especially as AI advances and the stakes around personal data grow ever higher. So, what does all of this mean for the average social media user in Europe? If you're on Facebook or Instagram, much of what you share could soon fuel the advancement of Meta's AI, unless legal action stops this plan, or unless you actively opt out. Privacy advocates, however, warn that the opt-out process is not always straightforward, and that many users may be unaware of their rights or the coming changes. The larger question is one that's playing out not just in Europe, but globally. How should society balance the enormous benefits and breakthroughs that AI promises with the need to preserve fundamental rights, including the right to privacy and informed consent over how our personal data is used? As AI models grow more powerful and pervasive, the answer to this question will shape not only future regulations, but the trust we place in the digital services we all rely on. We'll be watching closely as this dispute unfolds in the courts and in public debate. Meta's plan, the response from EU regulators, and the voice of privacy advocates like NOIB could set new precedents for how AI is developed and governed around the world. What do you think? Should companies be able to use your public posts to train their AI without your specific opt-in consent? Or is it time for a more robust form of user empowerment in the social media age? Tell us your thoughts in the comments. If you found today's coverage informative, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to AI News Connect for daily updates on the world of AI, and share this video with your friends and colleagues. Make sure to turn on notifications so you never miss another important story in the ever-changing landscape of artificial intelligence. I'm Marvin. Thanks for tuning in. See you in the next episode.